Yeah guys, it's your old power coach Nico here, and in today's video I'm going to review the elimination final between the Western Bulldogs and Essendon. The Bulldogs defeat the Bombers by 49 points, 13-7-85 to 4-12-36, and boy oh boy am I a happy man at the moment, okay? It's currently Wednesday at the moment and I'm still smiling, okay, because it was the Bulldogs' first finals win since the 2016 Premiership, okay? And it feels good to get that monkey off the back because we've had the last 2 years 2 losing elimination finals, and the last 3 weeks we've lost our last 3 games to drop from 1st to 5th, okay? So the pressure was really on us to win this, okay? Because if we lost this, oh boy, Luke would have been under pressure and the media would have been all over us, okay? But I'm so happy at the moment we've got the monkey off the back of winning a final, okay? I'm pretty stoked, okay? Let's get into the game itself. Heading into the game, I was really nervous because, you know, we're coming into the finals with terrible form, and Essendon were coming into the finals with great form, okay? And Essendon only beat us a few weeks ago, so I was really nervous, okay, considering what they did to us earlier, which was smash us in scores from clearances, okay, especially from standing clearances, okay, and the efficiency of goal, but the efficiency of goal can be rectified, okay? But I was scared they were going to do damage to us in the clearances because of the advantage of Sam Draper and Lewis Young being a makeshift ruckman. Yeah, I was a little worried, especially with no Stephen Martin in this game, so I was really pessimistic. But as Sunday came, I was actually quite optimistic. I think we can actually win because I thought, you know, the more experienced, you know, the better side all year Western Bulldogs can get through, and what we saw in the first 20 weeks would show in the final. And that's exactly what happened, especially in the second half. In the first quarter, especially the first 15-20 minutes, the Bulldogs just looked a bit lethargic, okay? Our tackling pressure was pretty poor in the first quarter, okay? We're just letting Essendon have so many uncontested possessions, okay? And one of the things that really annoyed me in that first quarter is that we just kept kicking the ball along straight to Essendon defenders, okay, whether it be James Stewart, Jordan Ridley, Jane Laverde, okay, we just kept kicking straight to Essendon defenders, okay? So our ball movement going forward in the first quarter, in the first 15-20 minutes was not great. And I think we were lucky to be in front a quarter time because Essendon missed some goal opportunities to kick more than one goal, okay? So yeah, I think we were lucky in that first quarter to be in front because we didn't play that great, okay? And Essendon midfield was on top, I feel, after quarter time. In the second quarter, things started momentum. I definitely noticed a change in shift, okay? Our pressure was well up, and the conditions became worse, okay? So it's no surprise our tackling pressure went up, our contested possession went up, and the Bont, Marcus Bonapelli, had a very quiet first quarter with only 2 disposals. He also lifted, okay, having 8 or 9 in that quarter, okay? We could definitely see a shift in momentum, okay, in that second quarter, okay, and it was really good to see. It was more of the Bulldogs of the first 20 weeks I saw in that second quarter, okay. It was more of an open quarter, that one, even though the conditions were worse, okay. Darcy Parish played probably one of the best individual quarters I've seen in a final series. He had over 16 disposals, kicked a goal, had 6 or 7, he had 4 or 5 clearances and over 7-8 contested possessions in that quarter. He was phenomenal, okay. Okay, and the Bulldogs forwards started to tickle on the scoreboard as well, with Cody Waitman kicking a couple of crucial goals in that first half, okay, along with Aaron Norton and Josh Shackey. So yeah, it was a very crucial first half, okay. And going into half time, I was fairly optimistic. I was pretty impressed with the Bulldogs today, okay, but I was a bit disappointed because Essendon had the momentum at the last 5 minutes of the quarter, kicking the late goal due to Jake Stringer, okay? So I was pretty happy with that. I think it was fairly even, okay? I think we were in front because we took our chances and Essendon did it, and we got a bit lucky with the rub of the umpires, so it was a very even game, okay? But I realised in that first half that the Dogs slowly got back to what we did in the first 20 weeks and why we were a premiership contender. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with that, okay? That second quarter was just a hell of a lot better than that first, okay? And it gave me pretty optimism, and I think we can beat this mob, okay? So the second half comes around, okay? And it's very tricky to score because of the conditions or whatnot, and it's very contested style footy, okay, especially on a smaller ground like Utah Stadium in Launceston. So yeah, it was very contested, and I have to discuss this. Cody Waitman's free kicks. He got 2 free kicks. One was there, and the one was the first one in the third quarter. That was there. He was trying to mark it, and Marty Gleason, the Essendon defender, grabbed onto him and kind of dragged him to the ground. He panicked a little, Marty Gleason. So that one was there, and he nailed that, okay, which was the all-important first goal of the third quarter, you know, to swing the momentum, okay, especially in the conditions. And then the second one, which was a few minutes later, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I was wondering, when it was live, like actually live, when the umpire was whistling, I was like, what for? I was like, okay, maybe a push in the back or something like that. That makes sense. Okay, Cody Waitman snapped it, no problems. Then seeing the replay, I was like, oh boy, that wasn't pretty, that's not a free kick, okay? And I said to myself and my dad, that's not a free kick. And it wasn't, okay? I can't see how it was a free kick, but you know, you gotta take them, okay? And Cody Waitman did. He kicked 4 straight. He's such a good set shot, okay? And I knew he was a good set shot, but given the conditions, I thought he would have missed one of his 4 goals, and I would have thought it'd be that one, the one where he snapped it from the boundary, because given the conditions and how tricky it is. But no, composed Cody Waitman did it, okay? Now, can I just dedicate a minute or two to this? I'm disgusted at what I saw on Cody Waitman's Instagram after the game, okay? People being abusive and sending him death threats and whatnot. I was disgusted, okay? Yeah, Cody Waitman got a couple of lucky free kicks, okay? That's not his fault, okay? His attack on the footy was magnificent. And if you're going to blame anyone with those horrendous decisions, blame the umpire, okay? So, there was no need for abuse on Cody Waitman's Instagram, given he's probably played the game of his life, and he's only like 20 years old, okay? So I'm glad the Bulldogs, Cody Waitman's teammates, and Matthew Lloyd, footy commentator, who coached Cody Waitman in high school, okay, at Haileybury. So I'm really, really disgusted with what the Essendon fans did, okay? And it's no surprise by the Essendon fans. They've done this before to other players who have like gotten controversial free kicks in key moments, such as Callum Ward and Dylan Grimes last year, okay? But it wasn't justified by the Essendon fans because Cody Waitman didn't do anything wrong, okay? As in, like, he didn't flop for the free kicks, okay? And we won by 50 points, okay? I don't get what the Essendon fans are at, okay? You didn't kick a goal in the second half. If you lost by a goal or 2, I can understand it, but the abuse is absolutely not necessary. But I can understand why you'd be angry, because they cost you the game, really, with those horrendous umpiring decisions. But you lost by 50 points. I don't get it, okay? Just made no sense, okay? And I feel sorry for him, but Cody Waitman, he said haters are gonna hate, okay? And he's just getting through it, okay? I'm glad he's blocking out the haters, okay? He just keeps doing what he's doing, okay? If he keeps doing what he's doing, the Bulldogs are gonna go a long way into this final series. That's my little rant out of the way to the feral, shitty Essendon fans, okay? But anyways, back to the game. So yeah, Josh Shackey kicked a couple of goals as well, which are really crucial, okay? And I just say, Luke Beveridge made a couple of late changes. He put in Ryan Gardner for Zane Cordy because Zane Cordy was ill, so pretty much a like for like because they're both like key defenders, but they're not the size of a key defender, if you know what I mean? So they're like second, third key defenders. They're pretty much like for like Ryan Gardner and Zane Cordy. And that worked. I think Ryan Gardner is a more natural defender. He's taller and I think he can mark better than Zane Cordy, so that worked. But the real one was, it was a really risky decision given the conditions, but putting Josh Shackey, who was originally the medical sub, and put him into the actual starting 22 and put Jason Johannesson onto them as the medical substitute. I was really surprised by that given the conditions. Are we going too tall given the conditions? We might need some speed given the conditions. Speed can be handy, okay? So yeah, it was a really risky decision by Bevo, but it paid off. It paid off a treat, okay? Josh Shackey had 14 disposals, 2 goals, 6 score involvements. He played bloody well. That's all he really needed to do, really. Okay? And he did his job perfectly, okay? okay, and he kicked his set shots. Josh Shaki, when he plays consistently, is one of the best set shots at goal, okay, and he didn't look like missing any of his 2 goals, okay, so I was really impressed with Bevo's. Bevo's a genius, okay. Bevo can be frustrating and you can be confused sometimes with his selection, but that was a very smart decision from Bevo, okay, and that paid off. I'm gonna give it to Libba, okay, because as much as Cody Waiton played great, and his enthusiasm, his energy, his one-footed footy was there and kicking his set shots, all his goals did come from free kicks, and they were a bit lucky. So I kind of feel a little guilty, of putting Cody Waitman as the BOG for the Western Bulldogs. I'm going to put Tom Liberatore because I just feel like he was the best midfielder for the Bulldogs, okay? And he was influential all game. I'm just going to get up his stats, okay? Apologies about this. I just want to see how he did exactly, okay? Because he was magnificent, okay? Particularly in driving the clearances out of the centre and around the ground for the Bulldogs, okay? He starts the clearances with his handballs, okay? And he flicks them out to, your bottom pellies and whatnot, okay? If it wasn't for him, I don't think we win the game because he's so influential to our clearance work and why we've been one of the best clearance teams all season. So he was huge. He probably played one of his best games ever, okay? So Tom Liberatore, he had 35 disposals. If the stats just loaded, sorry. Tom Liberatore had 35 disposals, 17 contested possessions, 5 marks. It went at 65% efficiency, okay? How many clearances did he have? I'm trying to load the clearances, sorry people. Edit this out. And he had 7 clearances, okay? 8 inside 50s, okay? And 130 fantasy points. The most on the ground, okay? He was simply magnificent from start to finish, okay? Tom Liberatore, okay? I just couldn't ask for a better game for him. He was down for a few weeks in the last few weeks of the home and away season, but he was back to his clearance, contest possession best, okay? He's hunting, doing the dirty work for the Western Bulldogs, okay? Doing the dirty work and flicking it to the more flashy outside players of Bonampelli, McRae, Belly Smith, or so on and so on, okay? So he was a huge key to why we won, okay? He kept pace with Darcy Parish throughout the entire game for, like, the best player and the most disposals on the ground. So, yeah, he was huge to okay? It wasn't the most perfect game from the Bulldogs, but I take any win, given we've lost the last 2 elimination finals, okay? I take any win in the final, okay? That second half was just fantastic to watch, okay? And watching the sealer from Mitch Hannon with about 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, I was just so ecstatic, okay? I was like, finally, yes! A weight's been lifted off the Bulldogs' shoulders, okay? It was so good to watch in that second half. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review, okay? Sorry if it was Bulldog heavily orientated because it's a Bulldog review, obviously. I'm a Bulldogs fan, obviously. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll be doing a preview for the Bulldogs Brisbane semi-final on Saturday night. That video will probably come out either on Friday or Saturday morning, okay? Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the vid. With more vids coming out this week. I also will be live streaming the game between the Cats and the Giants up the stadium on Friday night, so be watch out for that. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the review. Carn the Dogs.